In this playlist, we're talking about a speech described by an ancient writer. The ancient speaker speaking this speech may have been a historical figure or an imagined character in the ancient writer's mind. Whichever he was, he became legendary, and he became the central figure of the Christian religion. The stories of this speaker's wisdom about life circulated throughout the first century. Many ancient writers wrote varying versions of the scuttlebutt that was going around. At the same time, there emerged many supernatural stories, as was the custom. The ancient writers wrote about these stories as well. Yes, you probably know who he is. He is known as Jesus, a name Christianity has made synonymous with wisdom and the virtues of goodness, otherwise known by religion as holiness. 2 millenniums have passed since the speaker reportedly spoke these words in Aramaic. The ancient reports of his words in Greek came decades after his death. The words read by the average English-speaking person today were not in print until printed in an ancient form of English more than 1,000 years later. Freedom of religion is in the United States Constitution. My fascination for this first century speech generated from a conclusion that the speaker, real or imaginary, did not teach freedom of religion, but freedom from religion. Arguably, the greatest influence on the world today is the Christian religion's adopted versions of their sacred book known as the Bible, and Christianity's insistence on a supernatural Jesus. Christians have taken from ancient writings what they will, including supernatural legends. To be clear and to be fair, I have taken from those writings what I will, excluding supernatural legends. It is remarkable that the great good that is touted by Christianity is largely a result of the natural wisdom of this speaker about life. At the same time, the supernatural beliefs of Christianity have generated horrible wars, pronouncements of ongoing eternal punishment upon millions, and the denial of rights through political influence by Christian politicians. Many of you may already know that I was a Christian pastor, serving 4 churches, now retired. My recovery from too much religion grew out of this speech, attributed to this well-known speaker. The Way to Be is the title I give the speaker's first century speech. I refer to the speaker as the speaker and sometimes as Jesus. I refer to his speech as the speech. Christianity refers to it as the Sermon on the Mount. I refer to those who reported the speaker's thoughts as ancient writers or journalists. They were anonymous writers to whom religion later ascribed names. The speaker expressed a contrast between 2 concepts. One is the concept I call the way to be. The other is the concept I refer to as religion. The speaker explores how to escape playing a religious role. Throughout the centuries, religion loaded liturgy and homilies with fragmented phrases of the speaker's words, often torn from their meanings. Religion uses his words to speak in buzzwords, Sunday school sound bites, and churchy cliches. Religion snatches incongruent clip art from the speaker's thoughts. My search, beginning with seminary, has been to find what may have been the contiguous line of thought of this ancient speaker, without the supernatural embellishment and without the clip art. Why is a contiguous line of thought so important? Searching for a contiguous line of thought helps us understand what the speaker said without building supernatural absolutes out of snippets. There were no printing presses, no Library of Congress, and no quotes carefully written down. We cannot quote the speaker today. The writing is available to us or from oral tradition I call scuttlebutt, written decades after the speaker's death. Does the speaker have a contiguous line of thought? Does his speech make sense? My position is that the speaker's line of thought is about how to build a better life. Contentment is the result of a way of being, not a way of doing or saying. He lays at religion's feet blame for the confusion over the difference. Furthermore, the speaker warned me not to reverse the process. Religion gets it backwards. Walking the walk and talking the talk will not replace managing one's thoughts. The speaker seems to have been brilliant. He reportedly developed a great following. Was this following the result of his wisdom or supernatural stunts? I think he rose above religious thought. This is why he made such an impression then, and why I spend so much time on his words thousands of years later. Those who followed the speaker became known as people belonging to the way. He said he set them free. They were captives to religion. Those most devoted to religion were upset with him. He said they did what they did to be seen and heard. The religious practiced religion. As I move through the speech, I will keep the speaker's words, at least as the journalist reports them, together in an order. There are no omissions in the reported speech. Perhaps the journalist expressed only the cliff notes of the speaker's thoughts, the summary essence of what was going around, in whatever order, at whatever times, from whomever may have been listening to the scuttlebutt. In any case, the speaker appears to have a contiguous line of thought, one that lodged in his listeners' minds. The reported speech is short. I had the little man in my computer read the speaker's words to me aloud at a moderate pace. The length of the full recording is only 13 minutes and 15 seconds. We do well to remember that. As we move through the journalist account of this speech, I will report where we are in time all along the way. The purpose of this is so that you might become aware that so much of religious dogma has been developed out of snippets of less than 30 seconds. Evaluate, if you will, from your own religious experience, religion's use or misuse of his few simple words. I have been a lifelong teacher of the Bible. Internalizing the ancient speaker's brief comments began my journey recovering from too much religion.